Hi. Who saw me run in here? Because I'm stupid and don't manage my time well.
Tomska, welcome to the instant stage. So nice of you to run all the way here.
So good to be here.
While you're catching your breath, we do a little exciting thing for all of our guests here. Maybe exciting, maybe scary. So Instant is a new platform being launched by People in EW, focused on digital influencers like yourself,
That's
digital
me.
creators.
I influence.
And as part of your exciting role as an influencer, you get to play the Instant mystery box game, the Instant Challenge.
Well, I'm running on pure adrenaline right now, so I'm hyped. So how's this work?
That's perfect. Well, there's one box, and then there's another box, and you get to choose one box. Which one will you choose?
I'm going to go with the top box, 'cause I feel like it's too obvious to try and subvert expectations.
I like that. We'll pick it up then.
We're going for this?
Yep. Feel free to crack it open if you like.
Please don't be like silly snakes or anthrax.
We couldn't afford
It's
them.
my wife's severed head. It's what I've always wanted. Okay, cool. So I'm reading this.
What does it say?
It says, which YouTuber would look best as a cartoon? Well, I would say Fred, but I think we all learned about how that worked out. So it wasn't ideal. Who's got a pretty cartoony face? Oh, there's a lot.
A lot to choose from.
Who's got like a really, really exciting, confusing face? Crabsticks, a British YouTuber by the name of Crabsticks. He's got, right? He's a strange-looking but beautiful man. It's hard to put your finger on, but believe me, I've tried.
Well, a quick reminder to everybody in the audience that you can tweet us at instant.me if you have any questions for this man on stage.
That me.
The little question inside a mystery box was about animation, and I'd be intrigued to know what's more frustrating, animation or live action?
I mean, animation is when I'm producing animation. It's slower, absolutely. But if something goes wrong, it's a case of, oh, could you draw that again, please? But if in a film, if it goes wrong, it's a case of either film it again or ask my VFX guy to painstakingly paint some chewing gum out of someone's mouth, which I've had to do before, which is always fun and not gross at all. So animation is very frustrating for animators, though. I hear they hate it, especially working for me, because I'm a nightmare of a human.
Talk about, on your YouTube page, you kind of say that there's really kind of three parts of what you produce. There's the cartoons, there's the action, and there's the sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Talk about kind of like how you arrived at that kind of mixture and, you know, what it's like sort of serving all three of those aspects of your productivity.
I mean, really, it all boils down to the fact that I am a man-child, and the action part. Like, I haven't really done much action in the past few years, mostly because I gained 130 pounds. That'll do it. But I like guns and explosions, less so now, thanks to recent events. Go America.
You're welcome.
Jeez. I'm coming in strong. And the cartoons, I like cartoons. I mean, I'm wearing an Adventure Time t-shirt. The first thing I did when I got here was go to LA so I could go to Hot Topic, specifically, because we don't have that in England, so I could buy more Adventure Time t-shirts, because I obviously need more. I'm 26 on Monday. I should stop buying graphic tees. Thanks, guys. Believe in your dreams, and you'll never have to grow up. And then, yeah, like the live action sketches is just kind of, there's two things I want to do with my life, and I'm not sure which one it is yet. I either want to make sketch comedy or cartoons, and YouTube is allowing me to do both, and we'll just see which one wins. And by which one wins, I mean who comes up to me with the biggest amount of money first and says, this is your life now, make this forever. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, cool, man.
As far as like cartoons go, what are some kind of animators or some animation besides Adventure Time that really kind of inspires you right now?
Oh, God. Okay. Well, there's obviously Steven Universe, right? There's Gravity Falls, Bravest Warriors. Well, there was a show called Ed's World, which was, am I right? Which was a cartoon which it wasn't even a cartoon back then. It was just a guy who made stuff online, and I absolutely idolized him. And eventually, I got to be a part of it, and eventually, I was show running it. So there's a lot of things that have inspired me along the way. But basically, it's just kind of anything by this kind of CalArts little clique. Like, yeah, you've got Pendleton Ward, Rebecca Sugar. I think Alex Hirsch was also. So it's like these guys who all achieved their dreams at the exact same age I am now. You know, that give me existential crises. Yeah, I look up to those guys from laying on the floor having a crisis.
Well, and what's interesting with them is that, you kind of described them as the CalArts clique, and they've really collaborated so much. I mean, you yourself have collaborated with a lot of other YouTubers and a lot of creators. Yep. Talk about like how do those projects come about, and what's it like when you're kind of working, really collaborating that strongly with other creative minds?
Hold on. I had a brain fart just then. The adrenaline just ran off so abruptly. Can I get that question again, please?
What's it like collaborating with other creators, other digital creators, and what's it like when, how do those projects come about, as opposed to the stuff that you're kind of working on?
Collaborating with other creators is really strange for me because I'm very controlling. So really, what it usually boils down to is, hey, YouTuber, I have written a script. Would you like to voice this script? I've written it for you in mind, and if you say no, I will just cast one of my other friends who won't do as good of a job. I hate them. No, but yeah, it really is just a case of I approach people with scripts. I've worked with a lot of YouTubers, and really it is just me going, say this line, say it again. Okay, thank you, goodbye, and then we never hang out again. There's this beautiful moment whenever I work with any YouTuber I look up to where you see them switch off when they finally realize I don't actually know what I'm doing. It's a beautiful time. It's great. It's that exact point where they're like, wow, it's Tomska. Yeah, like, I'd love to work with you. You do really cool stuff. And then it's usually about 3 hours in when we haven't shot anything yet that they'll go like, you have no idea. They'll say it with their eyes. And then the phone goes dead. And the video doesn't get tweeted out. I'm not bitter. I bring it all on myself.
Walk me through kind of a typical week in your creative life. What's the mix of working on different kinds of videos? Do you kind of tend to focus on the sketch comedy on a given day? Are you always kind of working on multiple projects?
I never focus on anything. I am a train wreck. I went on a very strict diet for about 5 months, which entailed me not drinking any Red Bull, and I haven't been able to focus for 5 months. It's a nightmare. I am so scatterbrained that I have employees whose job it is. I have 2 employees, Elliot and Eddie, and their job is to need me to do something so that they actually have something to do. And that's the only reason why I ever do anything anymore, is them going like, if you don't give us work, we starve to death. So I'm like, I guess we should do this video then. Because I have this project bank, it's like 20 pages of ideas, and I'm kind of just flipping through. Thank you. I'm just flipping through going, this one. It's not like that at all. It's actually me going, no, 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 no. And then I'll start it again until my standard's lower enough to pick that one. But yeah, so I'm so scatterbrained, in case it's not so obvious by the fact that I got here 3 minutes before this. And I don't even remember why I was late. I just was.
I'd be intrigued to know, you're talking so much about what your workload is like now, which sounds insane. How has your process kind of changed from the way you kind of work on these videos now to back when you first started uploading videos to YouTube?
My process has changed so much in that I can't wing it anymore, which really sucks. It used to just start out as like mid-2000s, me and a couple friends go to a field and then wing it. And it's like, we have a camera with an hour's worth of tape and 2 hours battery life. Let's just film some stuff. And that was kind of my method for like the first 5 years of making YouTube. And then there was this big flop where I had this big shoot and I had essentially a panic attack on set and didn't come up with any ideas, and everyone just had to go home. And ever since then, I was like, oh, I actually need to properly write a script. And that eventually evolved into writing scripts and storyboards and shot lists and planning things. And that's really what it's come down to now, is I have to plan stuff. And I hate planning stuff. Scatterbrained. But my scatterbrain used to be my biggest strong suit. It used to be like, wow, I'm going to come up with some really off-the-wall stuff. And now I have to plan my madness, because if I don't, nothing happens. I just flatline and freak out.
A couple questions coming in here on Twitter, live from Twitter. This one's from @OblivionFighter. Are you going to make any more ASDF movies now that you made a book?
Hell yeah, I am. Thanks, guys. And there's like one person in the audience like, you should stop beating that dead horse. No. I was supposed to have released As the Movie 10 like a month ago, and I didn't because I didn't write it because I haven't had Red Bull for 6 months, and I can't think the way little 15-year-old Tom used to think without like taurine coursing through my veins. So I am working on it. God, what's a joke I came up with recently? Okay, let's check my phone. Let's see if I got anything good on here. I really don't. Before anything goes in the project bank, it first comes onto the phone as just gibberish. Let's see what we have here. God. Dog catches own tail, implodes. Great. That is...
Comedy gold.
Yeah. I'm not like other girls. I have snake arms. What the fuck? Jesus. I don't... Why do I think getting this out was a good idea? This file is just the words, have you seen my lemons? Like, I don't know. Here's one that probably won't go in, but I wanted to. Daddy, there's a monster in the closet. Don't call them monsters, you little homophobe. So,
Getting
slow burner.
Getting into some bold political humor.
Yeah, it's some exclusive content. You'll hear it.
Well, speaking of exclusive content, this person has tweeted at us 5 times in the last minute, so I should probably read their tweet. This comes from @SoapyPeanutWaffle. I have it's okay. It's all right. I have a drawing I'd like you to have. Can I give it to you?
I mean, I'm fine with it. Is it laced with anthrax and guns? Because then, if not, the security don't want you to do that. But otherwise, yes, please. I love drawings and things.
Is Soapy Peanut Waffle here? Ah, okay.
Oh my. Is it a gun? Is it a gun? It's not a gun. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Look at this. That's so cool. Thank you so very much.
Oh,
I'm going to put that on a wall somewhere.
So now you know that if you really want your tweet read, just tweet at us 5 times in 2 minutes.
Spam them.
Oh, Soapy Peanut Waffle. I didn't even see. There was one last a tweet there. Perfect. Here's one from Brianna Diorio. Do you think making Last Week has helped you and your scatterbrain or increased it?
Last Week is a weekly vlogging series I do now, where unsurprisingly I film my week and then it goes up on the following Monday or Tuesday. It's kind of made in part to spite all my friends who did these like monthly vlogs, which they would upload a month after the month they'd done, and I was like, I can do it 4 times a month on the same day. And it was an excuse to keep one of those employees, Elliot, my editor, working because I wasn't giving him enough to do. So I was like, how about I just throw footage at you all day, every day? And Last Week has not helped my scatterbrain at all. I've stayed the same. I'm still just an absolute train wreck. But it does encourage me to go outside slightly more now. So that's good. More oxygen, good for brain. I don't know, man. If you've seen me on any other panels, you'll know that I'm a mess. It's not good. I keep talking like this, and then I'll be like, "Ooh, that's a good idea," and that's just what happens when I'm on a stage. Great.
What was it like, I mean, as far as working on the book versus all the other work that you've done? Easier or a million times harder?
Working on a book was strange because it was not something that it wasn't necessarily my idea to do a book, unsurprisingly. This will come as a surprise to no one. After, like, Zoella's book and stuff like that, like, every book publisher was like, whoa, you're a YouTuber, you should make a book. And I'm like, that's a bad idea because I'm not Zoella. And they're like, do it anyway. So I took my As the Movie series, I transposed it into a book because the thing is, and I actually made this thing that was really true to me, because the As the Movie cartoons are not actually what they were originally like. They originally started off as the comics, and they were these really dark, depressing, messed up jokes. And then when I made it as a cartoon, it was all like, whoa, silly voices and catchphrases and repetition, but the actual original comics were really morose. So I made these comics again, literally 9 years after stopping doing them, and everyone did not get it. Like, they went into it expecting it to be like the cartoon. It was not like the cartoon. It was very different, but I'm still quite proud of it. Yeah, so it was different. And now they're telling me to do another book, and I don't know what to do. No. Thank you so. Don't clap. No. I don't want to do. I don't have anything to say. I have a couple book ideas. One of them is called "Don't Be an Asshole," which is a guide to not being an asshole written by an asshole. So that's really the main one. So, yeah.
What's the other idea?
It was going to be just like a little book of Tomska, which is going to be like not little at all and everything about everything I've ever made. But again, that would be made very much for myself and like the 15 people that would want that book. So I won't make that one probably. I might just release that for free online. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Now, as you're setting down that drawing, hot off the Twitter here, at Mel the Ninja 13 tweets, "Ah man, I was hoping to give Tom a cupcake. Can I do that?"
Oh, no. No, not cupcakes. Never cupcakes. Never again. Ever since the pube cake incident of 2013. I do not accept specifically baked goods. I don't have a lot of triggers, people, but that's the one.
Is there a...
Biting into a nice, juicy cupcake and finding it's just full of things that it shouldn't be full of. It's not a good time. No more baked goods. Lesson learned.
I was going to ask if there was a story, but it sounds like we
that
just,
is
we
the
just
story.
got the story.
It's called the pube cake story. You can figure out the story in its entirety from the name. It's not a good time.
Did you enjoy your work on the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series? That comes from at Joseph Sherby.
So this is an interesting thing. I was an executive producer of the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series. What that means is I gave them money. That is it. That's my whole involvement. They did a Kickstarter, and I guess I just gave them like a fair whack of money, and that was really my involvement. And I also voiced a character in it, and no one knows it's me, which is really funny. And I'm not going to correct them ever.
Which character?
I'm literally not going to tell anyone.
Give us a hint, though.
No, no. The only hint is that my voice is pitched up by 40%. So, but I'm still doing a very silly voice. But yeah, so that was the thing, is I just helped them make it because I really believed in what they were doing, because it's amazing. The Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series is amazing. What they do is so great, and I just wanted to help that happen. Like, it was looking like they weren't going to make it to their Kickstarter goal, so I pledged, like, I said, hey, people, if you get it to this, I will finish the rest of the thing for you. So, yeah, that was it.
I'd be intrigued to know, I mean, are there any other kind of current, like, kind of younger or up-and-coming creators that you're really excited about or that you really kind of point people to?
Gosh, yeah, I mean, there's so many. There's too many. It's actually really, really hard to point out people, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of scary to point out small YouTubers as well, because sometimes they just become real assholes, and it just comes out of nowhere. And you're like, this guy's great, and he's like, yay, subscribers. Now I'm a dick. It's like, oh, lessons learned. But who are some really, really awesome up-and-coming YouTubers? There's a YouTuber. She's here, Rebecca Parnham, Nacy. She does animation and stuff. There's a YouTuber by the name of Tim Kish. He does video reviews. There's so many like tiny little channels. I did a video called Smaller YouTubers, hashtag self-promo, all about some of my favorite small YouTubers. So do check that one out, because that's it. Yeah, there's just so many people. I can't find, there's so many. I hate it. I just discovered a Russian YouTuber today does really cool videos. I don't even know his username yet, but he was awesome. It's a nightmare.
Here's a fun question for you from Twitter, from Charles Case.
Finally, all these other ones have been lame.
This one's going to hit you. Tomska, what do you think of Brexit?
Fuck. So, I'll be straight up with you guys. I am super depressed right now. Like, not even like depressed like medically. Like, I am so sad that I like almost didn't. I had a mental health panel this morning, and I almost didn't make it because I was so sad. I am genuinely scared for our country right now. I have no idea what's going to come next. In case you don't know, England just separated itself from Europe, which is a big deal, because we did that to like prevent World War II from happening like again. So it's kind of like, in my mind, it's like there's a zombie apocalypse, right? So you and a group of survivors build like a fortress to keep the zombies out. And then you're in the fortress for a little while, and it's great because, hey, there's no zombies, you're with your friends, and it becomes a bit of a democratic system, like everyone's agreeing on how to best to stay safe and ration food. And then after maybe a week, you go, man, I showed you hate all these rules and these walls. I wish I were outside. Who knows what's out there? And everyone's like, I don't know, man, how about fucking zombies? And you're like, no, I'm gonna go out there and show you guys. Oh no, it's zombies! And that's Brexit, in my opinion. And soon, we're probably gonna be banging on the door of Europe going, guys, can we come back in? And they're gonna be like, let me think, no. And then they'll throw baguettes and clogs at us.
So you're saying now is the time to rewatch 28 Days Later, basically.
Oh, absolutely, because that's what's happening now. It's so good. Oh, God.
To get a little bit more optimistic for a second, what kind of, you've been working with this, doing this kind of creative work for a long time now. What kind of inspires you about where, YouTube creation and content creation and just, digital creation is right now?
I think it's all incredibly inspiring. I was at the Dan and Phil live show last night, and it was amazing. Definitely not for me. Definitely for their audience, but even watching it, I was so immensely proud of them and what they'd achieved and, what the show stood for. But it's not just that, it's even seeing all these YouTube original series and these billboards, but even on the other side of the spectrum, it's seeing these really trashy gossip magazines with, YouTubers all over it, oh, who's dating who? And even though, obviously, again, that's, not for me, it's still amazing to see our medium growing and becoming this real, undeniable thing. The amount of news articles that are being written about YouTubers being like, you can make money from your bedroom. The amount of those not happening now is fantastic because finally we're being taken seriously. So whatever happens, I'm okay with it. I'm just excited for the future of online video, and I hope I always get to be a part of it because it's amazing. It's so crazy. I love the lone clap. It's just online video is shit.
Sarah DeBerry on Twitter is asking a question that kind of plays into this a little bit. Are there any creators that you plan on collaborating in the near future or that you'd kind of want to collaborate with?
Hell yeah, there are so many creators I want to collaborate with here. There's Markiplier's backstage. I want to do something with him because he's a disgustingly nice human being. There's another YouTuber here, a point of contention, but I like her, Lacey Green. I want to work with her. About 3 anti-social justice warriors in the audience's assholes just imploded. But there's a lot of people that I really want to work with. A lot in the UK, Anna Akana, Britannic, so many. And a lot in the US, sorry. And they're all in the US. I've done the UK now. I've bled that resource dry. The ones I haven't worked with hate me. And a lot of the ones I have worked with now hate me. I'm a charming guy. But I want to work with so many people because they're amazing, and I just want them in my videos. I just want their energy and their life force. I'm like a Death Eater. I'm like, and then Markiplier's like, no, please. I've only been here 4 years. Oh, I'm gone. And then I eat him, and then it's done, and he's dead. That was a really bad Markiplier impression.
No. That was a pretty good
Thanks, man.
Harry Potter riff, though. I'd be intrigued to know, we've talked about kind of what inspires you. Are there any, in terms of far-flung ambitions, is there anything you haven't done yet you'd like to do, whether it's a feature, whether it's, a series on a kind of TV network? Would that even interest you, or do you kind of feel pretty confident with what you're doing right now?
I touched on it earlier, but I only have 2 goals, and that is to make an animated series or a sketch show. To be honest, movies, are cool, but they don't really interest me. I want to make a cartoon. I want to make an Adventure Time. I want to make a Steven Universe, Gravity Falls. It's so bad. But I'd also settle for doing a sketch comedy show. I've been shopping around with the BBC, and they've been like, nah. But give it time. They'll come around when the economy starts collapsing like it already has. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't clap that. Stop. So yeah, anyway, anything between a sketch comedy show or a cartoon show, I'm so happy with.
Last question. If you could have any action hero star to collaborate with, to star in something that you make, who would that be?
Oh. I want to say Jason Statham, but thank you. But in such an
Statham fan club down there.
Such an effeminate role, completely placid, he doesn't want to be there. Then again, I mean, I'd take Melissa McCarthy as well. Like, Spy was a dope movie. Spy, The Heat, and coming soon, Ghostbusters, all the same director who I have so much faith in. Please, God, be good. So yeah, I'm changing it. I'm gonna go with Melissa McCarthy. I want to do an action video with Melissa McCarthy. She is dope.
Fantastic.
But I'll also take Matthew Perry any day. I would kill Melissa McCarthy to work with Matthew Perry. That's how it is. I would kill all of you, one by one, with a screwdriver. Don't think I wouldn't.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Everybody, please put your hands together again for Tomska.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Oh. One moment.
There you go. So exciting, right?
That was sort of beautiful.
The power of YouTube.